The college basketball experience, Louisville Cardinals 2022-23 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby. Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience, Louisville Cardinals 2022 season preview episode. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Yes. It's a pivotal year, perhaps, in Louisville, Kentucky. Take me to Bourbon Trail with that sweet-ass bourbon Kentucky's got. Oh, man. I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. A lot to talk about. Subscribe to the college basketball experience. Tell a friend. And remember, we're on YouTube. Check us out there, youtube.com/the college experience. You can watch this thing. All right. And also subscribe to the college football experience. Big year for Scott Satterfield. We already got a preview out. Go listen to that. I think they might be pretty good in the Atlantic this year. Sleeper Malik Cunningham. So check that out. Also check out the college baseball experience. I know Louisville keeps a good baseball team. Me and Noah Beanick were covering the Cardinals this year. But yeah, check us out on YouTube, all that good stuff. But this is a rich program, and you got to be wondering after last year just seemed to me, obviously there's been a cloud over this program for a bit. The Patino scandal. Chris Mack comes in, and then there was like an extortion, a blackmailing episode by like his former assistant, which was his former head coach. I mean, and then it just seemed, I mean, so he left mid-season, got fired mid-season, and it just seemed like a complete mess every time you watched Louisville. It was
sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Yeah, and they had a 13-19 season, and we're gonna touch more on that in a second. But I just got to talk about this is the Louisville Cardinals, folks. This is a very rich basketball program. You go back to the days of Rick Pitino. I know he got caught cheating, but you know what? A lot of other schools were cheating too. Kansas, who just won the national championship, got caught cheating. All right, but back to the days I know when I first started watching college hoops. Denny Crum. All right, this is a rich program. You can go back to the days of LaBradford Smith and Purvis Ellison. Go back to the days of Wes Unseld, rest in peace. You can go back to the days of Darryl Griffith, Rodney McRae, NBA players everywhere. I remember the days of Clifford Rozier. Remember that, man, Dejan Wheat or Dewan Wheat, Dewan Wheat. Remember Dewan Wheat? I can't talk. But Dijon Mustard's fantastic. No, I mean, what was the boy's name? Luke Hancock. Remember the George Mason transfer? Part of that championship team. You can go on and on and on about the good players that have came out of Louisville. It's a rich program, and it's at a pivotal spot. I think they're a potential juggernaut with the NIL, as we're seeing it already have an effect on the football field. Can it transition to basketball? Because this town is fantastic. It's a basketball town. It's a basketball state. I know Mark Stoops might be mad at that, Kentucky's football coach, but good basketball and good football. That's what Kentucky does. All right. And good whiskey. So they went out and hired Kenny Payne. if you're not familiar with Kenny Payne, I knew him because this is a guy that played with the Philadelphia 76ers who went to Louisville. He was part of those, he's familiar. Grew up in Mississippi, I believe, if memory serves me correct. But Kenny Payne, I know Charles Barkley speaks fondly of him. He played with Barkley on the 76ers. And then he was an assistant at Oregon, I believe, with Dana Altman, and then at Kentucky with Coach Cal before going to the NBA. He's been in the NBA recently, which makes you wonder. I don't think this is like one of the I know people compared it to the Mike Woodson hire at Indiana or the Juwan Howard hire. Yes, I know both those played at the alma mater, so I see the comparison. But I think Payne was more familiar with the college game. And it wasn't that long ago that he was there in the college game. Now a lot has changed in college basketball since then, but I do think it's a very interesting hire, and I think it can work out. He's never coached. The only like alarm is that he's never coached college or pro as a head coach. That would be the only question. But I can tell you this: Dana Altman, John Calipari. Hey. Speaks pretty well. So how will year one look? I know they whiffed on the portal on a couple guys, and then the portal, we're going to talk all of it. We're going to break down what exactly happened last year. We're going to break down the portal and recruiting and talk about 2022-23 and what Louisville can do in Payne's first year. But first, I got to get us paid. I want to tell you that the Louisville Cardinals 2022-23 season preview episode is brought to you by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get a $100 free bet. Yes, head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by OddsTrader. OddsTrader is a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promo codes from sportsbook to sportsbook to assure that you get yourself the best deal possible. And the app is pretty awesome. It provides player stats, key game stats, injury reports, projected game day weather for bettors who make the most informed bets possible. It also has a bet tracker, so you can keep track of all your games and your betting activity. People like me that just have 10 different bets going in 5 different sports come November and December. I got Satterfield. I got money on the cards to take down, Kentucky in the Governor's Cup. And I got money at the same time on Kenny Payne beating Appalachian State and covering the spread. And I got at the same time, I got money going on the Indianapolis Colts. Or whoever, Cincinnati Bengals, whatever your team would be. But I really do have moments like that where I just have like 10 different sports going, and you're sitting there saying, I wish I could get a little more organized. This does it for you. So go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. OddsTrader, the #1 site for all of your game day bets. We're also brought to you by Run Your Pool. Yeah, Run Your Pool is the home of competition, bringing sports fans and their social circles together to compete, to connect, and make every game matter more. And you got to check it out. We've teamed up with Run Your Pool. We have our official SGPN Survivor contest. Hop in now. It's free to enter, but hop in to reserve your spot. You'll get the winner with $500 and a $250 gift card. Come on, $500 cash and a $250 gift card. What are you doing? It's free to enter. Get in. Sign up today over at play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. That's play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper's the fastest growing fantasy platform today with millions of different players. You probably already have a fantasy league on there. I know I do. They have over 4 million users. So this isn't me just pushing something random, like my friend's fantasy league. Join Bill's fan. No, this is 4 million people. So, and they have a cool over/under game. I highly recommend. All right. So you can choose 2 or more players in any sport, and based on their stat projection, you bet on the over or the under. And if you win, you can win anywhere from like 2 times to over 20 times the amount of money you put in. So check it out. And with NFL season right around the corner, Sleeper is the first sports contest game built into the actual fantasy experience. Right now on your mobile phone, join our listener group at sleeper.com/SGP. That's sleeper.com/SGP, and they'll automatically match your first deposit up to $100. What are you doing? Come on, get in. All right. We're back talking Louisville Cardinal basketball. You look at a season ago, unbelievable. And really, I was actually looking at this since, the last year they were in the Big East. They won the NCAA championship. I know they took it away or whatever the hell you want to say, but that was the last year since they joined the ACC. Now, year one in the ACC and year two, they were on fire, right? 31-6, 27-9. Then even after that, 23-8, 25-9, 22-14, 20-14. And that was David Padgett one of those years. And then Chris Mack, 20-14, 24-7. And the COVID year, they only played 20 games, 13-7. Obviously that wasn't great. And then last year, their first losing season in a long time. When was the last time they had a losing season? They haven't had a losing season since, from what I'm seeing, since I want to say no. Okay, so 2000. Denny Crumbs last year, he was 12-19. Prior to that, it was 90. So they've only had 3 losing seasons in third. That's how great this basketball program is. All right, this is something when everything's going. This program can, and they have a great fan base. This is what college basketball. What I love college basketball. It's my it's my favorite fucking thing to watch. You get the college environments that just you can't find in pro basketball, and it's just better to me. The rivalries, everything, the traditions, and Louisville's one of those examples. When things are going well, it's hard to beat that environment and just seeing the city, the state. I like Kentucky being good and then playing each other. That's fantastic. I know Louisville fans will be like, "What, you like Kentucky being good?" No, I don't. I don't root for Kentucky. I was St. Peter team St. Peter's all day. But I'm just saying, when both are good and they're going at it, it's absolutely awesome. So, but let's talk about last season because I have to. We have to recap last year. 6-14 in the ACC is unacceptable, let alone 13-19 overall. Unacceptable. They quit on them. I compare it to like Florida in football last year. The team quit on them. The team was more talented. I'm not saying it was like one of the more talented Louisville teams, but I think they were more talented than their record. They were 36% against the ATS too. So like the gamblers must have hated Louisville. Luckily I wasn't. I feel like I was fading them pretty fast last year. And you look at last year's team, they were 143rd in turnover rate. Okay, not the end of the world, but all right, finishing 11th in conference, the end of the world. But pace 188th. Okay. 312th at shooting the free throw. That is uncalled for. You cannot be that bad. You can't. How are you that bad? I mean, how many points are you leaving on the board each game? They were 54th in defensive rebounding. So they were getting some boards. They were 197th in offensive rebounding. Obviously you'd like to be better there. At least be top half. But this is the one. 300th in 3-point shooting. This team couldn't shoot. They couldn't shoot from the free throw line. They couldn't shoot from the 3-point line. They couldn't shoot in the gymnasium. 173rd adjusted offense. You'd like that to be way higher when you're fucking Louisville. I mean, come on. 114th in adjusted defense. Even that you went higher. Now the portal. The portal, you lost some guys. You got some guys too, but I think you lost more than you gained. And we're grading the portal. I would say, let's just get into it. Noah Locke, and that's another thing that's interesting. You look at last year's team. Noah Locke was the team's leading scorer, but no one averaged double digits. Which you can have years where that works out, and you're still a tournament team. I feel like it's rare, but it can happen. That was surprising to me, but Noah Locke, the team's leading scorer from a season ago on average. He also, besides Jarrod West, him and Jarrod West led the team in minutes too. So they did lose Noah Locke, which I think is a big hit. He transferred to Providence at Ed Cooley. Good get for Providence. But then they also lost Matt Cross. Now, Matt Cross only averaged about 6 points a game, 4 boards, but I think he's a good reserve to have on your team, especially when you're building and moving forward in the brand new Kenny Payne era. Matt Cross went to Frank Martin and UMass. Good get for why are they going to the Northeast, huh? And they lost their forward Samuell Williamson. I was surprised that Williamson didn't get more burn last year. Only 16 minutes a game, well, just about 17. But I think it would. That I was surprised. I thought he would get more burn. 6 points, 4 boards. He transferred out to SMU. Good for SMU too. Dre Davis, who was the team's 4th leading scorer a season ago. He averaged just about 7.5 points a game. He went out and he joined Shaheen Holloway at Seton Hall. These are tough losses. These are key players that I think they knew maybe that Kenny Payne's going to be building from the start. I'm still surprised he didn't get a couple of these guys. And then down deep on the bench, their center Gabe Wisnitzer, great name. He transferred out. I don't think that's a huge loss. He headed out to Ohio with the Bobcats, and then guard Brad Colbert, who barely got any burn too. He transferred to the Xavier Musketeers. Overall, though, I mean, I think the other ones were pretty big hits. You were hoping, I think, if you're Kenny Payne, and I get it, some of these players, when a coach change over, I'm out of here, I'm going somewhere else. But I would have liked to return a couple of those veterans to have on this team. Now, he did go out and get Brandon Huntley-Hatfield, who was a big time recruit at Tennessee. And I think that will work out. He's going to start, and I think he could be really good for Louisville this year in the ACC. And he got guard Hersey Miller from Xavier. Now, Miller didn't do much last year at Xavier, but it's like they traded guards. I think Louisville got the better deal. But those two come in, and they got some recruits. I'm very excited to see Kamari Lands. Kamari Lands was the number 65 recruit in the country. Comes out of Arizona, Phoenix, I believe. And I think he could be a difference maker on this team this year. He's going to need to be, because you mix Lands, I think will be, so Ellis is back, who was their, like I said, second leading scorer last year. Ellis is going to have a key role on this team, I think. And then Kamari Lands. And then they have Jalen Withers still, who's 6 points, 5 boards from a season ago. So if I'm projecting the starting 5, I go Ellis at the 1, Kamari Lands at the 2, Jalen Withers at the 3, Hatfield or Huntley-Hatfield is the 4, and then they got the junior Sidney Curry, who played pretty solid, 7 points and 4 boards a season ago. I know they have another top 100 recruit coming in Devin Ree out of Virginia. He was number 80 recruit in the nation. So these freshmen are going to be key this year. They really are. And obviously Huntley-Hatfield, because the front court, you're going to need that in the ACC. Shit, Baycott's coming back. They're loaded up. There in Chapel Hill. We're going to talk about the schedule though, but I think that's their projected starting 5. And we're going to talk about the schedule and see what the Cardinal could do in Kenny Payne's first year. We don't have a full on schedule yet, but we have some games that are already out there. So, but before I get there, I want to tell you that we're brought to you by Trade Coffee. Trade Coffee connects customers to the freshest and best tasting coffee they've ever made at home by partnering with the country's best craft roasters. These are independent businesses from big cities and small towns. Trade Coffee customers are true. Trade customers are truly impactful for the independent roasters, often being the largest source of new growth for them. And this is an expert tasted product. You better believe that, because Trade is a coffee team that actually taste tests thousands of coffee every day. They got over 450 different kinds live and ready to ship out to you every single day. There's no one perfect coffee, but there is a perfect coffee for you. And you better believe Trade's human powered algorithm is going to find it for you. Yes. So check out Trade right now. Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/SGP. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free, people. That's like $1,000 at Starbucks, and the quality of coffee is way better. What are you doing, people? Get over there. All right. Get started today by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Dave. Yes. No, not your Uncle Dave that's just been bothering your family for years. He's been just hammered, showing up at all the Christmas parties. No. Talk about Dave, the banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. That's more money to fill up your tank, to buy a wedding gift, catch up on bills, because we've all been in a jam. I don't care who you are. You've been in a jam where you needed some money. Whether you're in Vegas, you blew more money than you thought. Whether I don't know, whatever the situation be, your car. Maybe you're on your way to work one day and boom, alternator done. You're not expecting to take that big of a cash hit. Boom. Maybe old Rebecca, who you had a crush on for 10 years, but she wouldn't give you the time of the day. But you lost a little weight, and all of a sudden Rebecca's into you. Well, you should tell her go fuck. No, I'm joking. But maybe you use that money there. You start spending. Maybe you're just dating, and you're just spending more than you thought. You just got out of a long relationship, going out dating. I'm spending more money than I thought I would be, and you're in a jam. End of the month. Oh shit! I don't have enough money. You don't want to be that guy calling. Hey, I'm 35. I'm calling. Hey, mom, can you send me $1,000? What's Venmo, honey? No, but you don't want to be that guy. And that's why you can avoid the embarrassment, or even if you're not embarrassed, if you're just in the jam and need the money, boom, Dave is there for you. And there's no interest. There's no credit check needed. Download the Dave app from the App Store right now. That's DAVE. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve, a member of the FDIC. All right, we are back talking Cardinal basketball. Man, I see the schedule. I know they're in Maui, which is going to be awesome. How many Louisville fans are making the trip to Hawaii for Kenny Payne's first year? That will be fantastic. If you got to let us know if you are. We're on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Let us know if you are, people. That's awesome. That Maui's tournament this year is absolutely fantastic. They got the whole field is like Arizona, Cincinnati, Arkansas, Texas Tech, Ohio State, Creighton, who's going to be loaded this year. San Diego State, the Aztecs keep a good basketball program. Sign me up. And I think they open with Arkansas, I think on November 21st. Awesome game. I know Musselman's got that program rolling. For a minute, I actually thought that Louisville was going to try to hire Musselman, but Musselman's got that program rolling in Fayetteville. Can Kenny Payne be the equivalent of like what Eric Musselman's doing? Because he rejuvenated that fan base. And can Kenny Payne do that? Because that's what you want, I think. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be very interesting to see. Can they win that game? Probably not, but I don't know. It's year one. You know, we're going to see how well he can coach because the team still has talent. I think if Kamari Lands pans out like we think he could, and even the forward, you know, and Huntley-Hatfield starts playing at a level we think he can play at, maybe the Cardinals could surprise. Let's take a look at that schedule because I mean it's not out yet, but I do have a little bit of the non-con. They get Bellarmine November 9th. That should be an easy win. They get Appalachian State. App State's been pretty good in the Sun Belt lately, but they took some hits. They lost a couple key guys. That should be a win. ACC Big Ten Challenge. They get Maryland at the Shack there. That would be a fun game. You know, it's Kevin Willard's first season in Maryland against Kenny Payne. I actually kind of lean Louisville there, but that should be a really good matchup. They get Wright State. I don't have a date on that yet, but Western Kentucky, December 14th. Those games are awesome. Shout out to Louisville for scheduling them because Western Kentucky's got a great fan base too. I love watching those games too. Western Kentucky would be pretty good. Stansbury, watch out. Western Kentucky might be pretty good. That might be a game. They get Lipscomb. And then they get the alt. Oh shit. It's on New Year's this year. So we get Louisville at Kentucky, December 31st. My wife's going to be wanting me to make plans, honey. After the game, I'll have some champagne. I need whiskey. Fuck champagne. No, but that game's awesome. That's must watch every year. I don't care where you are. That game is awesome every single year to watch. I don't care. They could be 8-20. Sign me up for watching that game. That's what college basketball is about. Great rivalries like that. And then, like I said, the Maui Invitational. Sign me up for watching that. I know that's like right around Thanksgiving or a couple days before. But if they beat Arkansas, I think they'll get. No, I think they will get either Texas Tech or Creighton after playing Arkansas. And if they can pull some wins there, they might see who knows what they see in the third matchup, but you better believe I'm going to be watching that. So we know a little bit about that on the schedule there. Oh man, I can't wait. What do I expect from Kenny Payne? What would be a great first year for you Louisville Cardinal fans? Obviously NCAA tournament. Maybe you pull an upset on Kentucky. I think Kentucky's gonna be pretty good this year, but that would be fantastic. Maybe you can. I'm gonna go ahead and say this though. We know UNC is loaded. We know Duke is young, but they're loaded. We know UVA is going to be experienced, and I think Tony Bennett's going to have them back as contending for an ACC championship and making the NCAA tournament. After that, I probably go. I think Florida State's going to be pretty good. I think Miami's going to be good. So that's 5 teams there. I think Notre Dame's going to be pretty good too. Lizlewski or whatever comes back. But I kind of think Louisville can be on that level with Notre Dame for this upcoming year. I mean, long term, Louisville will be fine. But for this upcoming year, I think they could be on that level with Notre Dame and Wake Forest and Syracuse. So if you can get the wins, obviously, okay, you're probably going to first off, Virginia's susceptible because they play a style of ball. That's how they lost to UMBC. That's how they lost to James Madison and Navy and San Francisco recently. But so if you can just, okay, I think you're just going to get outmanned in the Duke and Carolina matchups, right? But I do think Louisville can beat Syracuse. All right. I think they can beat Pitt. I think they can beat Boston College. I think they can beat Clemson. I think they could beat Wake Forest. It's kind of a 50-50 game. That's a key. Those matchups are key against Wake, against Miami, against Florida State, against NC State, against Virginia Tech. Because I think Virginia Tech might be a little bit better, but they lose Kiva Luma. So there's wins to be got. Someone's got to win these games. Can they emerge? I think they might. I actually kind of like the hire. And when I look at the talent, I know there's a lot of youth involved with this. Sign me up. Louisville makes the NCAA tournament. All right. They could beat Georgia Tech. Who else did I forget in there? I think that you could, best case scenario here. Okay. In my book, Carolina finishes 1. I'll go UVA 2, Duke 3. Just, off my dome. This could, UVA 3 or Duke 3. Give me, after that, I think it's anyone's game. I would probably put Florida State at 4. Then after that, I don't know. Is it going to be Miami? Is it going to be Louisville? Is it going to be Syracuse? Could Pittsburgh emerge? Jeff Capel got an extra year. Could Wake Forest? I kind of like Wake Forest. Steve Forbes. I like what he's doing. But these are all winnable games for Louisville, which makes them must-watch basketball each and every night, especially once conference play starts. I can't wait to watch. I think Louisville's going to be able to get into the NCAA tournament this year. Let's do it. Let's have Kenny Payne. All right. Some people question the hire. I think it's going to work out. Let's do this. I don't know if it'll be a Patino good, but I'm saying, I think I kind of like what he's doing here. All right. I'm on it. Give me them to make the NCAA tournament. All right. But they need to grow up fast. All right, guys, this is the College Basketball Experience. Subscribe, tell a friend. We talk college basketball year round here. And once the season starts, we talk it every single night. Every single night I'm talking college basketball. So we've been doing this for years. Check us out. Also subscribe to the College Football Experience. Like I said, the Louisville preview's out. We just had Mike Leach on the show. We had Phil Steele on the show. Check out those episodes. Bud Foster from Virginia Tech's about to be on the show. So go check out all those ones, and then check out College Baseball Experience with me and Noah Beanick. Let's go Cards. All right. We got a good baseball team last year. Maybe you can do it again next year. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. They're going through all 32 NFL teams. If you're an NFL guy, they're 32 podcasts, 32 teams. They're talking win totals. They're talking whoever. If you have your fantasy football draft around the corner, you want to listen to that, or you can subscribe to the Fantasy Football Gambling Podcast, the NFL Gambling Podcast. We have all those on our feed. Check out all of our other stuff. What's going on right now. MLB season, summertime. It's August. MLB Gambling Podcast. Check it out. They do a fantastic job. What else? NHL's around the corner. NHL gambling podcast. Hey, this is a horse racing state. Check out. I can't emphasize enough. Check out the Notorious OTB podcast for horse racing tips. Chase Sessoms, he knows horse racing as good as any. Check it out. It's a lot of fun, and he's got you covered there. Also, Zed Run with Scott Bowser. Check that out. Either way, you get the app. You're going to have access, or go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Either or, but I'd say get the app for free in the App Store, SGPN app, and the Discord channel. I can't recommend that enough. That's a lot of fun for me personally, because whether I'm betting on a game or I'm just at home watching a game, I grew up in a household full of people. So now I'm married. It's just me and my wife. She's not into sports. So if I'm putting sports on, she's in the other room. And I'm just like, I need that connection. I'm like, oh my God, did you see that dunk? You know, and you can just hop in the Discord channel, which you can get the app for, but go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You'll get all that from there. We have it for every single sport you could think of, whether it's NASCAR, whether it's sumo wrestling in fucking Japan. We got you covered. It is a lot of fun, whether you're betting on stuff or not. Hop in, talk Louisville basketball, Louisville football, Louisville baseball with us. It's a lot of fun. All right, folks, this is the college basketball experience, Louisville Cardinal style. Must watch TV this year for them with Kenny Payne. I can't wait. This is the college basketball experience, Louisville Cardinal style. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Team speed, for Christ's sake.
I can't talk to this son of a bitch. I can't talk to that son of a bitch.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Good round, you're celebrating with your appetite. Bad round, you're using your appetite to forget about the round. I'll tell you something about appetite. I broke my back. What do you mean by that? My back is broken. What?
That's how I feel. Damn sick and tired of getting out rebounded. 25 offensive rebounds. First time we block out, we get called for a damn block out. We're pushing people. Meanwhile, they're on the other court, grabbing rebound, going on the top and grabbing them. We get one offensive rebound, then we call for the back.
Our coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked in that second half.
The best looking,